Hello students, welcome to the online session. I hope all of you all are ready and there are more than 500 students. So we will start the session now. I hope it's clear and you can see the screen. Students, I recommend you to go to a place where you have maximum connection. Maybe sometimes in the house, in the garden you have maximum connection, or in the first floor, or sometimes in the kitchen. So better to go to that place and stay, because today it's a short seminar session. The main reason for having this seminar session is because most of the students requested that during the past 6 months, whatever they have done in school, so you all normally know the method they do it in school, so they have forgotten that. So due to that, we have started this new free short seminar sessions, in which we will do a few recap of all the old session for grade 9, for grade 10, and also for grade 11. But the thing is, today we are starting from a grade 9 session. And the thing is, this grade 9 session is related to grade 10 and 11. Even the O-level students, there is a 5 to 10% chance for this eye or the ear. Okay, listen carefully. The eye, structure of the eye or structure of the ear, for those sessions to come for your O-level. Therefore, this will be even beneficial for the O-level students, but mostly it will be beneficial for the grade 10s and 11 students. Okay, so then we will start the session without any further delay, because last month we have done around 12 seminar sessions and successfully completed that session. And for the month of July, this is the first free seminar session. And I hope all of you are ready, and there are a lot of participants. So we will go to it. Yeah, this is a short seminar. So within 1.5 hours it will finish. So don't worry. You can finish it on time, because today we are not going to complete the full syllabus. We are going to learn the main parts which are related to grade 10, 11 and 9. So we are going to go for a common part, that is the structure and the function of the human eye. So as you all know, all of us daily 24 hours we use this eye to look at the things around us. So this eye is considered as one of the greatest blessings and one of the greatest gift of God to us. Because just imagine, okay, just imagine if you don't have the eye, or if you don't have the eyesight, how hard would it have been? You can't even come to an online class if you don't have the eyesight. So this is such a great gift of God given to us. So please use your eye in a very good purpose, and to gain knowledge and to help others. And by using the eye, you can learn a lot of things. So today in my session, I will be having a fully fledged thing, animation plus explanation, and all the things will be given. So I want your eye and your ear to be busy. And certain places I will tell you to draw certain things. Then your hand also should be busy. Now my science classes, as usual, it's not like the normal other classes. Okay, it has to be a fun session. I want the students to take science as a fun way. Okay, and I was talking about the great gift, that is the eye. If you want to understand the importance of your eye, okay, you can do one thing. You can close your eye. You can close your eye and just try to walk around your home. When you close your eye and try to walk around your home, you will knock onto many objects and fall down, and you will hurt yourself. So imagine the virtue of your eye. So today we are going to talk about that eye. Okay, this eye lesson is based on a grade 9 lesson. Okay, so the grade 11 students don't think, give me a minute. The grade 10 and 11 students don't think that this is grade 9. No, we don't need to learn this. No, the ear and the eye, those are like common things. It was there in the old syllabus. In the new syllabus, they have put it to grade 9, but there can be 1 or 2 questions related to this eye and the ear. So why should we risk it? Better to study this. The 1.5 hours is not a big thing. So you can use this time, utilize it to study this lesson. Okay, so normally, I give a motivation before the class and after the class, but today we don't have time for all those things and don't even have time for the introduction. I will give a small introduction. My name is Rihan Rahim. I am studying Unani medical degree. I hope you all know what is Unani medicine. It's a herbal type of medicine, and I am in the final year of the medical college, and I am in the University of Colombo. So teaching I have been doing for more than 5 years, and you will understand my pattern in this seminar session. Okay, so why, just one reason why I selected this science is because in our university, day to day, it's totally related to science. Even in our university, we cut the dead bodies and check the organs. So, when I teach the eye, to you all, I have already seen whatever things inside the eye. Okay, so for me, it's like a normal thing. Okay, the problem with other teachers is, I'm just saying, they have not cut the eye, they have not seen the inner parts. So they look at the book and teach you from the book. But I have looked at the real eye, cut the real eye into pieces, and I have seen everything. So with that experience, I will be teaching you all. So you will surely feel a difference in it. So don't worry, even at last, I will show you the real cut pictures of the eye. The ones who are scared, you can close the eye at that time. So don't worry. And in this session, I will show you some magic related to the eye. So are you ready to go into the session? Okay. Good. So many messages are coming today. I can't answer all the messages. So please excuse me. I won't be answering all the messages. So don't worry. We have future classes. Our normal theory classes are there. We will discuss all the doubts in that. Okay. Then when you go to unit 9, in that unit 9, we are mainly talking about the eye and the ear. This eye and the ear are two sensory organs of the human body. So, when you look at the human body, we have 5 sensory organs. One is the eye, that is to detect the sight. The other one is your ear, that is to detect hearing, the sound. Okay, so now you're using both, no? From your eye, you're looking at the screen, and from your ear, you're listening to my voice. Okay, and the other one is the nose, that is for the sensation of the smell. The other one is actually the tongue or the mouth for the sensation of the taste. And finally, we have the skin, and in the skin, we have a lot of sensory organs to feel or to sense the touch, heat, temperature, coldness, hotness. All those things are felt by the skin. So we have 5 sensory organs. Even until grade 10, grade 11, all these sensory organs, I hope the grade 11 students know, no? The nerves which are conducting from the sensory organ to the brain. Can you all remember the name of that? Sensory neuron. Then we have the interneuron and the motor neuron. So all those things are related. So here we are not going to go that deep. We are going to go for the superficial part. So today we will be selecting the sensory organ, that is the eye. Okay, so today we will be selecting the eye. And in the future free seminar, when we do for grade 9, I will select the structure of the ear, because those two are even related to the O-level students. So we will go for that. Then we will start. I hope all of you are ready. Yeah, around 750 are there. Yeah, we can go for it. Good. Then, yeah. The eye is the optical sensory organ in our body. So optical sensory means light sensory organ. Now you have the ear. Can you sense light from the ear? No, no. How much even if someone puts a torch into your ear, can you feel anything? No. But when someone puts a torch, lights a torch onto your eye, you can feel it, no? Early in the morning, after sleeping, when you wake up and open your eyes, and if the light is there, very hard to see, no? So your eye is sensitive to optic, that is the light. Okay, so in your body, we have only that organ, and it is a very, very delicate organ, so we have to protect it. So when you look at the eye, okay, when you look at the eye, from that only you see things. So here in this diagram, okay, I hope you can see the diagram, and whatever I am drawing on top of that diagram in red color, you can see that there is a bird, and the light ray from the bird is coming and falling on the lens of the eye. I will talk about the parts later. Just think that there is a lens, and from that lens, it directs the light ray and the image falls on the retina. Okay, I will tell you what is retina, how to draw the retina, all those things later. Think like it's the screen. So it falls on the screen. So when I say the students, when I say this, the students have a big problem. So how can light ray be emitted by birds or any other objects? Because they are non-luminous, no? How can they emit? Actually, it's not their own light. They are emitting all the objects, whatever you're seeing around you, your laptop, your books, your pencil, whatever you're seeing, they are emitting the light from the light source. I will show the examples. So in our eye, individual, each and every eye, there are around 100 million cells, okay, that are sensitive to light. So because of that only you can see all those things. Yeah. Then how is an object emitting light? Normally, you know, there are two types of object. One is the luminous object, other one is non-luminous object. You can directly see luminous object, no? The best example is the sun. Sun is a luminous object. Directly you can see the sun. Candle or bulb or even the laptop screen, the phone screen, all those things you can see. So directly it is emitting light. But how can we see the books and the pens and the papers and all the other non-luminous object? We can see it because of the reflected light from a light source. So to see a book or a pen or a pencil, whatever, you need light. If you off all the lights and cover all the places where light is coming, you won't be able to see anything. And you won't be able to distinguish the colors also, no? At night when the light is off, can you directly take a red pen and a blue pen? No. You can't see whether it is red or blue because there is no light. When the light from the light bulb falls on the book, it will be reflected to the eye. That only we can see. So that reflected light ray only is being shown here. So I think you don't have any confusion, no? Because most of the students have a confusion. So how can non-luminous object emit light? So hereafter, remember, all the objects, they can emit light. That means the reflected light. If there is a light source, they can reflect that light and emit that. Because of that only, we can see any object. Are you clear about it? Then we'll move to the next one. Light rays emitted by object is directed into a special layer of the eye. What is that special layer? Okay, light rays which are coming to the eye are falling on a special layer. That layer is very, very important. That is known as the retina. Okay, that is known as the retina. We will study about the retina deeply. So don't worry. Now itself, I gave you an introduction. Finally, the light rays which are coming from the outside source, maybe from any object, it is falling on the retina. If you have a problem in the retina, you won't be able to see the object. Okay. Then we'll first go to the superficial one, outside part. That is the location of the eye. So all of y'all, you know that the eye is located in the face. Yeah, we agree with that. Where is the location? In the face. And when you take the bone of the face, it is known as the skull, no? The skull bone. All of y'all have seen skulls, no? When drawing that danger sign, we draw the skull. So in the skull, we have two holes called orbits. Okay, so the eye is located inside the orbit of the skull. Okay, now I will show the picture. Don't get scared. Okay, so this is the orbit. This area is known as the orbit. So inside the orbit only you have the eye. So direct MCQ question where which of the following is the location of the eye? Like that they can go for a direct question. So your answer should be the orbit of the skull. You have two orbits for two eyes, left and right. Harida. Then this eye is attached by many muscles. Okay, there are 6 eye muscles in the orbit which attaches to the eye. Because of these eye muscles only, the eye movements are possible. So each and every muscle, there is a name. So when we cut the dead body in the medical college, we can clearly see the muscles. If you pull one muscle, the eye will go up. If you pull the other muscle, the eye will go down. So in the medical college, when you do, that is called dissection. When you're cutting the body, you all will play with the eyes also. Normally in the campus, when we are cutting this dead body, now let's say I am cutting the eye, and if my friend asks, please pass me the eye, we will throw the eye. Okay, no, it's not like we don't play with that. We just pass it. So it's like a nice ball, and you have all the muscles attached to it. Okay, so it's very nice. At the end, I will show. Now I won't show. Some students get scared. Okay, so by this, okay. Yeah, I will take a 2 minutes break. The prayers are being called. So we will take a 2 minutes break. So don't worry. Don't leave. After 2 minutes, we will continue. Okay, students, then we will continue. Okay, I hope you all can hear me clearly and see the screen clearly. So by using that 6 muscles, you can move the eyeball. Okay, I will show the eyeball movement. Okay, you don't need to memorize the names of these muscles. Okay, don't need to memorize, but you all should know that there are 6 muscles in the eye. And when you use the 6 muscles, you can do these kind of movements. So with the picture, try to do the movement and see. Can you all do this? Can, no? So when you're moving the eye, that means your eye muscles are the ones which are moving it. Okay, good. So like that, I will give some activities, very, very interesting activities today within this 1.5 hours. As much as possible, I will try to give the things. So please concentrate well, study well, and try to understand this lesson carefully. So now you all know the location of the eye and you all know the muscles related to the eye. 6 muscles, the location, all those things. Okay, I told you now I will show you some magic. Now look at this picture. It's a normal picture, no? It's not moving. But move your head towards your screen and behind the screen, you will see like it's moving. Try and see. Front and back. Front and back. Move your head front and back. What's happening? Can you all see the moving thing? Yeah, no? Many students are saying, now I didn't give permission to unmute today because there are too much students. No, if everyone says yes, can't hear anything. So today, normal classes, I give permission to unmute and speak. Limited amount of students, no. And today we have some unknown students also. Some institutes also is coming to check our classes, no. So that's why I didn't give permission to unmute. So you can do whatever I am saying. So when you're moving your head forward and back, it's kind of moving. Actually, this picture is not moving, but your eye is thinking that it's moving. So these are known as optical illusion. We will see a lot of optical illusions today. Okay, so now we are going to the next part of our lesson. That is the part of the eye. The structure and the parts of the eye. In school, they will use these kind of models. Okay, dummy eye models which are made out of plastic to explain it to you. But luckily or unluckily, nowadays no school, no? So you can't see anything. Some schools they don't have, some schools they have it. Some schools they have, but they don't show. Why? The students take and break it, no? So they don't show also. So these parts we will learn one by one. So this picture, everyone, the grade 9, the grade 10, the grade 11, everyone should know this picture. So the problem comes here. So the problem comes here. I'll tell you one story. Okay, when I was in my university first year, okay, university first year, there is a subject called anatomy. In that anatomy only, we are cutting the dead bodies and checking all the parts. So my anatomy teacher, sir, okay, he's a surgeon, he's a big person. He knows that I do tuition classes. So before starting this eye lesson, okay, he told me, Rihan, you're doing tuition? No, then you're a tuition master. Come and draw the eye in the whiteboard. So I knew the eye very well. But when I started drawing, I made a lot of mistakes. Okay, I made a lot of mistakes. I was in the university first year. I have finished my O level, finished my grade 9, finished my O level, finished my A level. And in the university also, sometimes I got struggled to draw this. So then only I imagined, okay, after that I went and saw, then I understood what mistake I made. But from that I understood a lesson that even after entering the university, if I am struggling to draw this, if I am missing some points, how will the grade 9, 10, 11 students draw this without a proper guidance? Then only I came up with a short method. So today I will share that short method with you. Okay, so you don't have to memorize anything. I will show the short method. Okay, so please concentrate properly and follow the diagram. Okay, now I will turn towards the whiteboard. So listen carefully. Hope you all can see a whiteboard. Okay. And in that whiteboard, I have drawn 4 circles. Okay. So this is the short tip. always draw 4 circles before drawing the eye. Better to draw with pencil. Okay, if you want, now itself you can take a paper and try to draw this kind of 4 circles. From these 4 circles, I will show you the structure of the eye. So hereafter you won't get mixed up, because I personally, I experienced this situation in front of all the 40 to 50 students in my Unani batch. I went to the board like a big shot and I tried to draw the eye and I couldn't draw it properly. I drew it and I made some mistakes. So from that I learned a lesson. So I wanted to share that. So the best, easiest way to draw the eye today I will show you. First, 4 circles. Okay, draw 4 circles like this. Then I will tell you what to erase and what to do. Okay, if possible, I will give you 1 minute. Quickly take a paper and try to do this. You can use a compass or you can just freehand drawing. Okay, mine is not like a circle because it's very hard to draw in the whiteboard. You all know, right? Okay. So if possible, you draw it with a pencil because you need to erase certain parts. Okay, students, I hope you all can see the board clearly. Yeah, look at this carefully. Okay, once I erase it, you won't be able to do again. So please listen carefully and do it along with me. So you draw the 4 circles and erase the front portion. Erase the front portion like this. Can you see 4 circles and you erase the front portion? And these first 2 circles are there now. You take it like this. Little bit bulged. So those 2 go like this. Little bit bulged in front. Okay. At last I will do the naming. Okay, don't worry. At last I will do the naming. For now I will show you how to draw it. So you all can see 4 circles and draw, erase the front part, and the first layer you take it front. And this second layer is there now. Second layer, put a circle like this. This second layer, put a bulge like this. Can you all understand? This I have drawn in red color, put a bulge like this. And in the tip of the bulge, you put something like this. Tip of this bulge, erase it and put something like this. So then the second part is also done. Okay, if you follow only you can do. So please follow carefully. 4 circles. Okay. And then this part you put 3 lines like this. This part you put 3 lines like this and draw the lens of the eye. Okay. And automatically this green line, it becomes the third layer. So 100% clear eye is there in front of you. So this only, even sometimes your university students are struggling to draw if they try to memorize everything. Okay, so don't try to memorize everything. First, remember that 4 circles, use this 4 circle theory. Recently my students, I taught them this. So they are really happy with this method. They say it's very easy. Okay. Now we'll go for the naming. When naming, start from this. The last layer, the outermost layer, sclera, or you can give another name, sclerotic layer. The last layer. Can you see this? Then you have the second layer. Okay. I will put red color dots in that layer. Can you see? That layer is known as the choroid layer. Choroid layer. And then we are left with one more layer. That layer is the most important layer, that is known as the retina. And in the retina we have two special parts. In the retina, we have two special parts. Now I'm going to draw that part. This part of the retina, there is a small bump like this. Okay. And listen carefully, all the images in the retina should be taken to the brain, because whatever you see from your eye, finally it goes to the brain. Therefore, there should be a nerve. So all this retina is finally connected to the nerve, to the brain, through a nerve. What is this nerve? Yes, optic nerve. Very good. So those are the two main parts present in the retina. So what is that part? Now we will name it. This part in the retina is known as the yellow spot. Yellow spot. Or there is another name given, fovea. Fovea. Then this nerve, it is known as the optic nerve. This nerve is known as the optic nerve. So optic nerve is the nerve which is connecting your eye and the brain. Whatever you see, it's going for your brain. And this tip of the optic nerve, it is known as the blind spot. Blind spot. So yellow spot, blind spot, optic nerve. So these are the three layers: sclera, choroid, retina, yellow spot, blind spot, optic nerve. Very simple. You can give like a short form. SCR. This is YBO. I make it boy. BOY. B for blind spot. O for optic nerve. Blind spot is on top of optic nerve. And yellow spot. BOY, boy. SCR. Sclera or sclerotic layer, choroid, and retina. So those are the parts from behind. And now we'll go to the front part. Do you feel that it is easy? Okay, do you feel that this is easy now? Good, good, good. Okay, because if you learn the picture directly in the textbook, you won't understand. But if you draw one by one, you will be able to understand. So sclera, choroid, and retina. Okay, retina, T. Retina. Now we'll come to the front part. Now listen carefully. Can you see this sclera? It is a white color layer. One by one we will discuss. With the picture I will discuss very nicely. So don't worry. Now try to understand the location. From here to here it is sclera. But when it is coming in front, there is a bulge, no? This bulge is transparent. That bulge is transparent. So we give a special name. Same thing, but we give a special name. It is known as cornea. This is known as cornea. Now you look at this. This is my hand. This is also part of the hand. But because it's small fingers, we are calling it finger, no? This is the hand, this is the finger. But same. Both are together. Like that, sclera, same thing. In front, when it comes, it becomes the cornea. It becomes the cornea. Okay. Then we have another thing. This one. We'll go for, yeah, this part. Wait, I will draw the cornea like this. Cornea. This part. Here, can you see like a tip I drew? That is a very, very nice colorful one. From that only, people are getting blue color eyes, brown color eyes, that part. That is known as iris. Iris. I-R-I-S, iris. Okay, so to remember this iris, I'll tell you one thing. In our school, when we were schooling, there was a servant. Okay, there was a servant. And that servant's name is Iris Nona. Okay, if someone spills the food, she will only come and clean everything and go. So I can nicely remember Iris Nona. Okay, like that you all also connect it with something real thing. Then only you will understand. Always connect studies with real life and study. Then only it will be easy. And then we have another part. These muscles. These three are three special muscles. Okay, those are known as ciliary muscle. Ciliary muscle. So CIC. Here the short form is CIC. Ciliary muscle, cornea, and iris. What is the ciliary muscle holding? A special part. that special part is only known as the lens. Lens. Don't worry, at the end I will show you a real human lens. At the end I will show, don't worry. Okay, so that is the lens. Then in front of the lens you have a liquid, behind the lens you have a liquid. Very simple. In front of the lens there is a liquid, behind the lens there is a liquid. Here there is a liquid, here also there is a liquid. Okay, front of the lens, that is known as aqueous humor, then lens. After the lens we have vitreous humor. Okay, some students mix up atrous humor and vitreous humor. Remember alphabetical order: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. A is first, then L, then V. Aqueous humor, lens, vitreous humor. In front of lens, aqueous humor. Behind the lens, vitreous humor. So these are the main 12 parts of the eye. And there is another part. Actually, it's not a part. Okay, all the parts we have named. There is a special space. The space between this iris and this iris. Here also iris. Iris and iris. Between that there is a hole. Can you see that hole? That hole is given a special name. That area is given a special name. That is the pupil. That is the pupil. Actually, pupil is an area, not a part. Okay, that area is the pupil area. So I have drawn dotted lines, because it's not a part. All the others are part. This iris is a hole. Actually, now look at my hand. Can you see these fingers? These are like the iris. And in the middle there is a hole. That is the pupil. Sometimes you can open the pupil, close the pupil. Open the pupil, close the pupil. So who's moving? Iris is moving. Iris is like my finger. Iris comes closer, the hole will become small. That means pupil will become small. Iris goes behind, pupil will become big. The grade 11 students, I think you all know some more about this, no? Can you all remember in your nervous system, under parasympathetic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, we have studied this, no? How the pupils are dilating and constricting. So this is the theory how it is happening. So can you all understand? We have main 12 parts: S, C, R, B, O, Y, C, I, C, and aqueous humor, lens, and vitreous humor, A, L, V. So those are the very, very important structures, and we have a special person, that is the pupil. Okay, at last I will give all the parts again. Then I think now you all are clear about the structure, no? Okay, take 2 minutes. If possible, you can draw it and try to understand, because drawing you have everywhere. In school also you have drawn, but understanding you didn't get, no? How to draw? Now you all know it. So I will keep this for 2 minutes. If there is any doubts now, you can send through the chat. Very good. Lot of students, many students, they have understood this completely. So I really like it. And now one by one, after this, we will slowly go for the function, structure and the function. The fovea is the yellow spot, another name for yellow spot. Another name for yellow spot. Okay, there are more experiments. Okay, how to find your blind spot. If you are using a laptop, it will be really interesting. We can do that experiment today. Don't worry. Yeah, the vitreous humor and the aqueous humor, those are jelly-like substance. I will show it. Don't worry. Yeah, I will show that. Okay, then after this itself, I will show. Don't worry, because some students they want to see it. Okay, then shall we go to the next part? This picture I will send it in the group also. So don't worry. You know we have a free seminar group. Okay, our normal theory group classes are there. I will explain about that at last. We have free seminar groups for our students. Okay, grade 9 we have free seminar 2 groups. If you all are from grade 9, we will add you to that group. Grade 10 we have 4 groups. Grade 11 we have 4 groups. Now one by one the groups are becoming filled. So we will add you to that. If you are not there in the group, later send me a message. Now already in my phone there are around 150 messages pending. After that, slowly I will look at your messages and add you to the group. So whatever free seminars we will update in that group. Okay, so and this picture also will be updated in the group. So I will also take a screenshot. You all also can take a screenshot and keep. Again, I want you all to draw this form first. Okay, slowly after the seminar, maybe tomorrow or today night, again try and draw and see at least once. You should be able to draw this. Then only you have understood this clearly. Okay, then we'll go to our screen share. So now this is the real eye, normal eye. So this one, if you directly see, you won't be able to understand. But now, after drawing, okay, after drawing in my method, that 4-circle method, 3-layer method, I think now you can clearly understand the parts. Okay. Then we'll move to one by one parts of the eye. Yeah. So we'll first move to the sclerotic layer. Okay, then some are saying, sir, please, if you can show the real parts. Okay, I will show the real parts and then we'll go to the drawing. Yes. If you all are scared, don't see. Okay, because at night, no, some people they get upset. Okay, it's not a big thing. You can see. Okay, but if you are really scared, there are some students who are very scared. Even for cockroach, they are scared. Those kind of students, now close the eye, don't see. The others you can see. Yes, this is the real eye cut into pieces. So this orange color part, can you see? This is the lens. Someone asked about the vitreous humor. Okay, this is the vitreous humor. And this is the behind portion. That is the retina. You can see it clearly here. And you can see 2 dots, no? The optic nerve, that is the blind spot, and the yellow spot. And this dark color part is the choroid layer. Okay. And this is the front part of the eye. This hole is the pupil hole. Can you see? And there is another picture. Okay, this is with the skull itself they have cut. This is the back portion of the eye, and this is the front portion of the eye, and this is the lens. Okay, picture what we draw in the book and in the real life, it's totally different, no? Because if you cut the dead body only, you will understand. That happened to us. Okay, in the university, in the books, the blood vessels, they have given in red color. The veins, they have given in blue color. Even in your textbooks, it's like that, no? Human body parts and all, they're given different colors. You can nicely study. But once you go and cut the dead body and see, everything same color. Very hard to differentiate. Okay, so if you are going for medical, I like the students who are going, I encourage them to go to medical university, to medical college, especially after my seminars and after my classes. Many students, they want to become doctors, they want to learn medicine. Very good. If you like that field, you go for that. You can learn a lot of things in the world, and you can see a lot of things in the world. Okay, then the other part is this one. Directly they have cut the eye. Okay, once you cut it, that choroid will become like blood. It's red color. And these are the parts of the, this is the full eye taken directly out of the skull. Okay, no, enough seeing these pictures. Okay, the others can open the eye now. Did you all enjoy it? Okay. Some students, they like to see these cutting things and okay. Hurry. Anyways, now we will go to the real thing which we need for our syllabus. That is the function and the structure. Sclerotic layer. That only I drew as sclera. Okay, it is a tough white outer layer, outermost layer of the eye. So it is only outside. So here you can see the white color part, that is the sclera part. And suddenly when the sclera comes to the middle, what happens? It becomes transparent. So until this part, it's the sclera. And from here, it becomes the cornea. So until the back part, this white continues. So that is the sclera. If you remove the eye and take from this part onwards until the last behind portion, it's white in color. So it's known as the sclerotic layer or sclera. So what does this sclera do? Okay, light do not penetrate to it. Light can only penetrate to cornea, not the sclera. Okay. So this picture, I think you can see, it's like a 3D picture. It's like a white color sheet until the front. In the middle, that sclera is not there. Sclera is converted to cornea. Sclera is converted to cornea. From the cornea, light can go, but not from the sclera. Keep it in mind. This is a common question. So normally sclera, it is the outermost covering. So it protects the eye. It covers the eye. Now normally from your finger, you can touch that white part, no? Okay, lightly touch and see. You can touch that white part. But can you touch the middle part? Very sensitive, no? Even if a hair falls inside that, very, very uncomfortable, very, very sensitive. But that white part you can touch and see. Not a big issue. But if you touch that cornea part, it's very, very sensitive because the white part, the sclera part, protects your eyes. And it also gives the shape. Okay. It protects the eye and also kind of gives the shape. Okay, then we'll go to the next one. All of you are clear about the sclera, no? Then when the sclera comes front, it becomes the cornea. So we'll now talk about the cornea. Okay, in school, they will always talk about the layers and come, but I am talking about the full structure. Okay, now we know the sclera, we'll talk about the cornea, no problem, no? From here, okay, from where? From here onwards till here, it's the cornea. Sorry, yeah. What's happening? Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. Students, this is a free class, so don't try to play the fool because nowadays from the government, they are checking all the Zoom classes and check the names. Okay, so don't play with the Zoom classes these days. Even yesterday in the news, they showed, no, some people have been arrested for disturbing the classes, unwanted people. So if anyone like that, please go away. Only the students stay. Hurry. So the behind portion, it's the sclera, and this front portion, it becomes the cornea. Okay, at last again, I will show the board before erasing, then you will understand again. So what does this cornea do? The sclera was white, no? The sclerotic layer in front of the iris, okay, it is in front of the iris, it becomes thin and transparent and forms the cornea. That's all. It becomes thin, it becomes transparent, and it becomes the cornea. Okay, so this front part is the cornea part. But because it is transparent, we can't see. We can see only the things which are inside. But actually, it's like a glass cap on top. It's like a glass cap on top. That is the cornea. So what does the cornea do? As the cornea is transparent, it allows the light to pass into the eye. Very simple. It is transparent. It allows the light to pass into the eye. Done. Sclera done. Cornea done. Very simple. Some students are thinking this is very hard. Can't understand. No, no, no. If the explanation is proper, you can understand anything simply. Because I am also a student. I'm a medical student from the final year. Okay, so I know the problems which the students are facing. Now in my campus, when they are doing lectures, some very old lecturers are there. They will keep on reading. So that is very boring, no? Even in some of your schools, they are just reading, no? But I don't make that same mistake. I want my students, okay? I want my students to be very active. That's why I give lot of time, spend lot of time to make all this presentation, animation, and all those things to make you interested. So one by one we are coming. I will send the tunes at last. Okay. So if you're taking notes, just take only the important points. Don't need to write everything from first to last because I will be giving it. You can take a printout. But the important thing, sclera, write a topic. Tick, put a tick because we have done the sclera. And then cornea, put a tick. So now you all know about the cornea, no? Yes. Then next we'll go to the choroid layer. From behind that is the second layer. Can you all see in this picture, they have given in red color. Almost all the books, they will give the choroid in red color. But in real life, if you cut it, it will be dark red. Very dark red. It's like a pigment because there are a lot of blood vessels. Highly vascularized blood vessels are there. Okay, that is only choroid. Inside the sclerotic layer, that means below the sclerotic layer is the choroid layer. It supplies blood to the eye. So sometimes when something knocks to your eye, it becomes red color, no? That is because of the choroid layer. Okay, choroid layer is supplying the blood, no? If there is a damage, it will supply more blood. So at that place, it will become red color. Okay, understood? Good. As it contains a lot of blood vessels, it supplies blood to the eye. So each and every part of our body needs blood, no? So eye is getting supplied with blood from this choroid. Okay, there are some special blood vessels that you all don't need. Inside the eye, the supply is by the choroid. So sclerotic layer done, cornea done, and now we have gone to the choroid. Now look at the choroid. This red color part, when coming front, it becomes like a tip, no? That tip is only known as iris. So always remember, in the eye, front part and back part, the names are different, but it is continuing. The choroid continues to the front part and it becomes the iris. Iris is very superb. That is only giving the eye color. Many people are asking, how is the eye color coming? Okay, because of the iris. Iris is small finger-like projections at the entrance of the eye. With the picture, you will be able to see it. Can you see the iris? Small fingers. In the blackboard, we can draw only one side, no? We can draw only 2D. Therefore, on top, on bottom. But in real life, it's totally surrounded. Okay. So can you see here, look at the hole and wait. The hole is becoming big. The hole is becoming small. Can you tell me the name of the hole?
Pupil.
Yes. Yes, it's the pupil. Very good. Okay. It's the pupil. So this pupil size is regulated by iris. I hope now it's clear, no? With the picture, if you study, it is really clear. Or else just reading the notes, you won't understand. I know some of my students who joined my theory classes recently, they are crying and telling, sir, please explain the eye and the ear. We didn't understand that properly in school. For those students only, mainly I thought, okay, we'll put a short seminar and do these lessons because it will be helpful for our O-level students also. So can you see here in this picture, they have given the iris in green color. So if your iris is light blue, your eye will be like a blue eye. We call it blue eye, brown eye. Most of the people have dark brown eyes that only looks like black. Okay. dark brown. If you put the light and see, you go to the mirror and put a torch and see, you can see the color nicely. Most are dark brown. Okay. Some people it's light brown. Those only we call brown eyes. Okay. Some people have green color eye. Okay. Because their iris is green color. Okay. It's actually, some people say it's beautiful, but sometimes it's scary also. Especially for the cats. Have you seen? Okay, so why people are having blue eyes, brown eyes? It's known as genetics. In grade 10 last lesson, inheritance, you will learn that it's coming from genetics. Maybe your father or mother, or grandfather, grandmother, mother's father, mother's mother, or father's father, father's mother, or father's father's mother or father. Like that, from your generation by generation, it is coming. So what is this iris doing? It controls the amount of light entering into the eye. That means it is controlling the size of the pupil. That middle hole, who's controlling the size of that middle hole? The iris. Okay, so nicely, if they ask questions hereafter, you can nicely answer. Okay, you don't need to memorize anything. In science, if you understand, you can answer. But the Sri Lankan problem is, most of the teachers are making you all to memorize things. Memorize, 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 memorize. So the student who can memorize well, they are getting high marks. The ones who can't memorize, they are getting low marks. No, no, no. If the students are taught properly, if they understand, they don't even need to memorize. They can go for the answer properly. Okay, now clear. We'll go to the next one. Okay, now pupil. Okay, now can you see a pattern in my teaching? First we went to the sclera and the front part of the sclera, cornea, your eye. Then choroid layer, it became the iris, and in the middle of the iris, we have the hole. That is the pupil, the hole in the center of the iris. So at certain situations, at bright light, the iris relaxes and the pupil constrict, and at dim light, the iris contracts and the pupil becomes big. So you all don't need to remember anything. The grade 11s, they should remember. Pupil contract, pupil dilate. But the grade 9s, you can just remember the pupil is controlled. The size of the pupil is controlled by the iris. Pupil can become big, pupil can become small. And it allows the light to pass into the lens. Behind this iris, behind the pupil, you have the lens. Now look at this eye. Can you see it's moving? Okay. The pupil is becoming small and big, small and big. If you want to do this, okay, there is a small experiment. You can go in front of your mirror and take a torch from the side of your eye and put that light directly to your eye. Your eye lens will become suddenly small. And when you take the torch away from your eye, it will again become big. Like that, you can try this. Later, you look at the mirror and try this. Okay. Good. The theory students who did the theory with me, they have done this and they said, like magic, it's happening, sir. Yeah, your eye is a magic. That's why we say no one can create a human eye. Even the most advanced camera is not like the human eye. Okay, you can't compare the megapixel of the human eye to a camera, because within 1 second, 6,000 photos are taken by your eye. Now you are looking from left to right. You turn your head from left to right slowly. 6,000 photos are taken within 1 second. So such a great thing. Okay, so no one can create that except God, no? Okay, so now you understood that full story about the choroid, the iris, and the pupil. All are like together, huh? All are like together. So hereafter, if they ask questions, you should be able to answer. Now we'll go to the most important part, that is the retina. Okay, that is the retina. Okay. When we go to the retina, this retina is the last layer. That means innermost layer, very, very protected layer. If there is a damage in the retina, you can't see anything. You will become blind or partially blind. Some parts will be black. Like that, people are there. In the diseases related to the eye, we have discussed in our theory classes, the diseases related to the eye: heteromyopia, myopia, glaucoma, eye infection, short sight, long sight. Okay, like that, many things we have learned. Then I put pictures, like if a short sight person, when he's seeing an object, how is it? Like that, pictures also I have put. Now in this seminar, it's not there. In our theory classes, we have shown that, no? Okay, inside the choroid layer, that means below the choroid layer, there is a special layer, that is the retina layer. Okay. So in this retina layer only, all the images are falling. In the retina, we have two main points. One is the fovea, yellow spot, and this is the optic nerve. The tip of the optic nerve, it is known as the blind spot. Can you all remember? Good. Then the light sensitive cone cells and rod cells are located in this layer. So in the retina only, we have two special cells, cone cells, rod cells. Grade 11s, please try to remember, important for you all, and for the grade 9s also. Rod cells, cone cells. Those are the light sensitive cells of the human eye. Cone cells, rod cells. If they ask where they are present, you have to properly say in the retina of the human eye. Cone cells, rod cells. Please remember these names. Cone cell and rod cell. Are all clear? Good. Light sensitive cone and rod cells are present in the retina. When the light ray fall on the retina, the images detected and formed in the retina. So when you look at an object, the image falls on the retina. Okay. Retina detects the light ray and responsible for vision of the human eye. So I told you in the first itself, I gave this picture, no? So finally, the image of this picture will fall on the retina and you can see whatever falls on your retina. And in the retina, there is a special 2 points, no? One is, okay, I will show magic later. One is the yellow spot, one is the blind spot. We will come to that later. For now, I will tell you how this image is going into the retina. Your retina has a short-term memory. Shall we do an experiment? Okay, everyone. Okay, I will show a picture. Okay. Especially the ones who are having a laptop, they can nicely see this. The phone users also can see, no problem. Now, for 10 seconds, there is a plus sign, no, in the head. Look at that plus sign for 10 seconds without looking here and there anywhere. Exactly look at that plus sign for 10 seconds. Do a start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now look at your wall and close your eyes. Blink, blink and see. Blink quickly. Look at your wall and blink. What did you see? Tell me in the chat. Yeah, many people are saying you saw an image. Someone said the correct image. They saw Mona Lisa. Okay, they saw a lady's face. Okay, can you see? Now, when you took your eye away from your laptop or your computer, you're not looking at that picture, but still that picture is in your eye, no? That means that image is for temporary stored in the retina. The ones who didn't see that, you can again start. I will give you 10 seconds. Look at the dot only. Don't look here and there. Look at the dot deeply to that dot. Not dot, there is a cross, that plus sign for 10 seconds. And look at a plain area, your wall, and blink. Quickly, quickly blink. Then you can see that nice image. Tried. Please raise the hand. We'll see how many of you all tried and got the like a image. More than 100, 200 up. So, no? Good. So, these are also one type of optical illusion. And also, this is the power of your eye. So, this image is falling in the retina and that retina is storing it temporarily. That's why even after you take the eye away from your laptop and look at your wall or look at your roof and blink, you can see that image. Okay, very good. Then we'll move to, so you understood, no, about the retina. So these kind of small things, why I'm including is, then you won't forget. Because if you learn with interest, with fun, with a joke, you will remember it for a long time. Now we'll talk about the fovea or the yellow spot. Fovea or the yellow spot, it is the most, now retina is a full screen. Out of that full screen, the most, what do I say, sensitive part of the retina where sharp images are formed, that is the yellow spot. Okay, for that I will do experiment. So this is the yellow spot where the main image, for example, if you're reading, okay, what you're reading at that point, you're concentrating, that point is falling on your yellow spot. For example, all of you all have played bow and arrow, no? Or shooting towards a target. When you're looking at the target, when you're shooting towards a target, that your target, that main point, midpoint, you're looking at that midpoint deeply to that midpoint. That midpoint will fall on your fovea. All the other areas, you can see that, but you're not concentrating on that area. Those areas fall on the other part of the retina. And if the image falls on this blind spot part, you can't see that. In school also you learned, no? Today we will do an experiment to find that. Can you all understand? So the most sensitive part, if they ask what is the most sensitive part of your eye, actually it is the retina. And in the retina, the most sensitive part is the yellow spot, or another name is given, fovea. Fovea, yellow spot or the fovea. Now we'll go to the blind spot. Okay, blind spot is also a nice part. Okay, blind spot is above the optic nerve. Okay, you know, in the eye, there is an optic nerve. Can you all see? This is the optic nerve, no? The tip of that optic nerve, the starting point of that optic nerve is known as the blind spot. If images fall on that blind spot, you can't see any image. The area of the retina where light sensitive cells are not there. If they ask you a question, in the retina, which place does not have cone cells and rod cells? What is that place? The blind spot. The blind spot. Though light focuses, no vision is possible. Even if light falls, no vision is possible. You won't understand this. We'll do a test and see. So on top of the optic nerve, can you see the optic nerve starting point? And this is the blind spot. Okay, some students confuse. So this is yellow color, no? So this should be yellow spot. No, no, no. Okay, this is the yellow spot. Okay, not because of the color, because of its function only, we call it yellow spot and blind spot. Hurry, how to detect blind spot? Now this one, if you have a laptop, 100% you can see. But if you are using a phone, the screen is small, no? So you might not be able to see. So listen to me carefully. How many of you all are using a laptop? Please raise the hand. Okay, there are a lot of laptop users. Okay, around 200, let's say. Yeah, around 200, 185 laptop users are there. Okay. Yeah, don't send in the chat. I think now it's full. I can't even see the chat, so much messages. Okay, now those laptop users, even the phone users, you can try and see, but it won't come. For the laptop users, it will come nicely. You all look at A. You all look at the letter A. Don't look at the dot and cross. But while looking at the letter A, you can see that dot and cross, no? You can see the dot and cross. So letter A is falling on your yellow spot, and all the other full white screen is falling on your white screen with the dot and other parts of the retina. In the blind spot also, there is something falling. Now we will try to detect it. While looking at letter A, close your right eye. While looking at letter A, close your right eye and little go forward or back. There will be a point where the cross disappears. Try and see. Close your right eye, go front and back. Suddenly that cross won't be there. All the other area is there. That cross won't be there. Did you come across that situation? Raise the hand if you came across that situation. Close your right eye and see, then you won't see the cross. Now see, a lot of students are putting, yeah, they found it. Okay, can you see? It's like magic, no? Because you can see all the other places, even behind the cross you can see, but you can't see the cross. That is the, actually at that situation, the cross is falling on your blind spot. Try it again. Huh? Always look at A. While looking at A, close your right eye and little go forward or behind to locate the position. At one point, you can see all the other screen, but not the cross. If you do it from the left eye, you can't see the dot. Correct. Some have done that also. So can you understand? This is real. The blind spot is real. In school, you are just learning the theory, no? Blind spot, you can't see. But in my class, I think today you have experiment and found you will never, ever forget it. Hope you understood. Good. Then we'll go to the next part. That is the optic nerve. Okay, so blind spot. From the blind spot, the optic nerve is starting. The optic nerve is only taking all the messages. Now, whatever you're seeing in my screen, it's going to your brain, no? All that your optic nerve is only taking and going. Your optic nerve is only taking it and going. So the optic nerve is a very, very special nerve. If that optic nerve gets damaged, the person, even if he has the eye, he won't be able to see the pictures properly. The nerve that connects the eye and the brain, that is the optic nerve. So eye is a sensory organ. Always from the sensory organ to the brain, there is a nerve taking and going. It's also known as, the common name is sensory nerve. So here in this situation, the special name is optic nerve. The grade 10 and 11 you all have studied, no? Sensory neuron, interneuron, motor neuron. So optic nerve is an example for sensory neuron. So from your eye to the brain, that is also the behind part of the brain is responsible for your sight. Can you understand? That's why they say don't hit anyone in the neck. Sometimes this part where the eye is receiving, the brain is receiving the messages from the eye may be damaged. Sometimes some people after accident, they become blind, but their eye, everything is okay. But what has happened? The part of the brain which is detecting the eye signals have got damaged. Then also the person becomes blind. There are many reasons for becoming blind. One is the eye getting damaged. One is the optic nerve getting damaged. The other one is the brain damage in the eye area. Okay, this conveys the visual stimulus. Visual stimulus means whatever you're seeing, that is a stimuli. From the retina to the brain, and then the brain only interprets the image. Now, whatever you can see, you're looking at your mother's face. This is my mother. How do you know? Because it is going to your brain, and brain is only detecting, this is mother, this is father. Okay, and it is keeping memory, no? Or else, if you are forgetting everything, one day you see your mother, you forget. Then next day, who will ask, who are you? But God has created in such a way that it is there, the memory is stored. So the human brain, the human eye, all those are superb creation. You can't compare anything to these things. Okay, so I usually say, the more and more I learn about the human body, the more and more I understand the mighty of God, no? The superb power of God. Because we can't say all this came naturally, no? Because this is an all. Now, if you cut your human body and see, you can see millions and millions and millions of wires are going. So who's connecting these wires? It's a miracle. So I understand a lot about God when I study more science. Okay, anyways, so can you see the muscles are there, and middle of the muscles, this yellow color, the wire is going. That wire is the optic nerve. It's taking the message from the eye. Okay, so you're looking at ice cream. That ice cream's image is falling on the retina. Always the image which falls on the retina is upside down. But we can see everything correct. How? Because from the optic nerve it will go and your brain will change it. Or else your laptop, you will see upside down. Your phone, upside down. Everything will be upside down. Okay, but God has made the brain such a way that it will autocorrect. Okay. In your phone and all, you have, no, when you write a spelling thing, it will autocorrect. Like that, the upside down images will be autocorrected by your brain. So from this, you can understand the connection between the eye and the brain, that is the optic nerve. Okay. Then some part of your eye are connecting to the right eye is connecting to the left part of the brain, left eye is connecting to the right part of the brain. So some people, their right side of the brain is working more. For some people, left side is working more. So there is a MARA test to check that. Okay. There is a MARA test to check that. We will do that. Okay. I will show an image. Look at this image. Okay. Now, sometimes you won't believe that one type of students, they will see pink and white. Another type of students, they will see a blue and gray. How many of y'all can see a pink and white shoe? Raise the hand. Around 150 can see pink and white. How many of y'all can see blue color, light blue and grayish color? Raise the hand. See, that one highest. More than 400 can see blue color and gray color. Around 200 can see pink and white. I can see pink and white actually. Okay, I can see it as pink and white. Quickly call your parents and ask what color they can see. I will give you 1 minute. Sometimes parents will say, no, I told my mother. She's saying, no, this is blue and gray. This blue color and gray color. Like that, she's scolding me. I said, no. I can see pink and white because my brain may be left side or right side. The proper answer is not there. Which one is right and left, but it shows that two different people have different ones. Did you all call your mothers and show it? Is it different from your one? Yeah, someone is saying if it is pink color and white color, right side of the brain is dominant, working more. If it is blue color and gray color, left side of the brain is working more. Okay, no problem. Okay, don't say, my left side is working, right side is, no problem. Everything is good. You can get good marks, both left or right. Okay, if nothing is working, only problem. Something is working, no? So that's the thing. Okay, so I hope you understood, no, about from the eye you can do a lot of magics. You know, there is a method by holding a pen, by shaking the pen, you can make like the pen is bending, no? All those are optical illusions. Okay, so green and gray, yeah, it's like that, blue and gray, green and gray, that kind of feeling. Okay, no problem. It's a peacock blue, you others can see. Okay, then we'll move to the next one. So can you understand? Eye is a superb thing. I like to teach the eye because it's superb. And then we are going to the final parts, that is the lens. Now we spoke about the choroid, retina, the fovea, the blind spot, the optic nerve, then the front part, the cornea, then the pupil, all this, and the ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles, we didn't come to ciliary muscles. No, okay. The lens. So one of the most important part is the lens. Okay, it's a transparent biconvex lens that has the ability to change its curvature. The lens can change its curvature. It can become fat, it can become thin. Okay, I will show a picture. Okay, sometimes you are looking at far object, sometimes you are looking at close object. Now in the next part of this theory, you have that, no, some people they can't see far. Why? Because their eye lens are not relaxing. Some people they can't see close by because it's not constricting. Like that, many diseases are there. So what is the eye lens doing? It's directing the light ray which is coming from the outsource. Okay, your whatever outside, the light rays are coming, and this lens is making the light ray to fall onto the retina and to form the image. So this light, the lens, okay, it's a natural lens. It's a biconvex. Okay, the grade 10s to grade 11s, you all know, no, there are two types of lens, biconcave lens and biconvex lens. Even the grade 9s, I think you all know, no? So human eye is biconvex lens. Then some people have long sight, short sight. Then to correct it, you're adding another lens. That is only your spectacle. Some are using biconvex spectacle, some are using biconcave spectacle. That is the next part of the lesson. So today I am not going to discuss anything about the diseases. What is the time? Okay. Okay, so today we are not going to discuss about the diseases, but you all can now, I think you all are interested. How many of you all are now interested about science? You like to study science? Just raise the hand and say you want to become doctors, you want to study science, you want to do like, okay, mashallah, I am really happy. Okay, more than 400 peoples. Okay, so some students are asking some now as a medical student, they're asking some medical question. When they are looking far, they can see like a cotton thing. Some are saying when they are closing their eyes, they can see like a black spots. So these ones, I can't tell what is the reason. Okay, you can go to a normal eye clinic and check. They have a machine. They will just look at it. If your retina is okay, no problem. So to check the retina, there is a small machine. You have to keep that machine and only check. So from that you can do. So especially the students after 15, 16, they are growing now. Their eyeball is also growing. Most of the students nowadays, they are using spectacles because of eye problem. Okay, don't think it is sometimes, maybe it is because of your mistake. Sometimes naturally it's happening. So very simple thing, you can wear a spectacle to correct it. Spectacle is not cure. Okay, remember some parents are thinking, even when I was doing O-level, I started wearing spectacles. Some of my family uncles and aunties are saying, why are you wearing spectacle for so long time? Not good, no. You have to wear and correct it. No. Once you wear, it doesn't correct. Okay, it's a temporary. It corrects your vision temporary, but it is not a cure. Okay, so don't have a wrong idea that once you put the spectacle, your eye will become cured. No. Okay, so there are surgeries and also don't go for those things. Very simple thing is, if you're having eye problem, go to a eye doctor, because I know if I tell a medicine, I will say a medicine, it will be for some other reason, but your disease may be some other reason, it may get complicated. So better to check from an eye doctor and check whether your sight is good, the ones who are having problem. Okay, so the lens. So the lens, you can see it can auto change. Now here, can you see from the candle, the light is coming and the light is directed to the retina by the lens. So in grade 11, you will study a theory. Does anyone know the name of that theory? Yes, some have sent the answer. Yeah. Refraction. Due to that refraction theory only, the eye lens is sending the image to the retina. Okay, grade 11 you will study, don't worry. The grade 9 students, don't worry. Now the grade 9 students are so much interested. They're asking, sir, what is refraction? How to study? Don't worry. In grade 9, 10 and 11 you will study. For now you remember, the lens is the one which is sending the light ray towards the retina and making the image fall on the retina. If it doesn't fall on the retina, sometimes it will fall in front of the retina, sometimes it will fall behind the retina. Those two situations, you can't see the image, then you need spectacles for correction. Okay, today I'm not going to talk about the diseases, but in the diseases section, we have discussed those clearly. So then the ciliary muscles, actually ciliary muscles are here. Okay, that ciliary muscles only holding the lens and correcting the lens, whether to make it big or small. Normally in the house you have lens, no? The magnifying lens. Those ones, can you change? No, you can't change the structure. But in the human eye, you can change the structure. Okay, so many students are asking about our classes. Okay, at the last I will say, okay, in another 5-10 minutes we'll be able to finish. So don't worry. Please stay with us until the end. So our theory classes, as normal, we are doing it. This is a free session. In free classes, we can't finish everything. So you all know, no? This one small section itself, my method of explanation is very vast. I explain in such a way that the students should completely understand. So because of that, it takes time. So the ones who want to cover the full syllabus and all, you all can come to our normal theory classes. I will give the timing of all those things. And for the grade 10 students, how many grade 10 students here? Please raise the hand. Others, you all can put the hands down. Grade 10 students, in the end of the month, okay, around 100 are there, no? 100 to 150. In the end of the month, we have a special seminar. I will send you the details about that. That's a paid seminar. The one of the most important lesson, the reproduction lesson, unit 14, we are having it. So I just wanted to give the information. Some new students are there. We have free sessions also, and paid session, we will complete the full lesson. Okay. Then what is the ciliary muscles doing? These ciliary muscles are not outside. First we talk about 6 muscles now. Those are outside the eye. But the ciliary muscles are inside the eye. It is holding the lens and it is changing the curvature of the lens, thickness, making the lens fat, thin, fat, thin. That is the lens. Don't confuse with cilia and the pupil. Okay, in school, they are confusing the size of the lens increasing and decreasing with the pupil. No, no, no. Pupil is in front of the lens. That is different. That's a hole, but lens is a structure. That structure can become big and small, thick and thin. Can you see here in the animation? Thick and thin, big or small. Okay. So these are the lens. These muscles, ciliary muscles are holding the lens. So ciliary muscles are not the eye muscles. That 6 eye muscles, those are different. Those are outside. That is moving the total eye. But the ciliary muscles are inside the eye. They are only moving the lens. Hope your doubts are clear, no? Okay. Then the final 2 parts. Aqueous humor, vitreous humor. So very easily you can remember, in front of the lens A, in behind the lens V, A, V, A, V, A in front. In the alphabet also A is front, V is behind. So in front of the lens, in here in light green they have given, that is the aqueous humor, and behind the lens you have the vitreous humor. Some people pronounce it vitreous humor, vitreous humor, whatever. Okay, you write it correctly. So what is the aqueous humor and vitreous humor doing? Those are jelly-like things. So it's a transparent watery liquid. It's a transparent watery liquid. It fills the space between the lens and the cornea. It fills the space in between the lens and the cornea. In another 10 minutes we will finish. So don't worry. In 10 minutes we will finish. We will take 10 minutes extra and finish the session today. Don't worry. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, fills the space between the lens and the cornea. So cornea is here, lens is here. So the front liquid, transparent liquid. Okay, some people who are getting, do you all know this glucose, high diabetes people, sometimes in their eye, they can see something white patches. Okay, so in this vitreous humor, aqueous humor, certain things are getting collected. That is not good. Okay, so that's why they say you have to be very careful. Diabetes, it's a very dangerous disease. It can do a lot of things. Then when you look at the vitreous humor, it's also a transparent jelly-like substance which fills the rear cavity. Rear cavity means back cavity. Front cavity, back cavity. Front aqueous, back vitreous. Can you see here they have given it in yellow color, the full area. So this aqueous humor and vitreous humor, they are helping to maintain the spherical shape of the eye. If you prick the eye and if the vitreous humor or the aqueous humor leaks out of the eye will become shrunk. Now all of y'all have gone to Golf Face, no? Golf Face or some parks or something. Y'all take these plastic balloons, no? If you fill that plastic, there is a balloon, or you can take football, basketball, whatever. If you fill air into it only, it will have that shape. If you remove all the air from the ball, what will happen? That ball will become like a handkerchief, no? It will become shrunken, it will become small, inflated. Your eye will also happen like that. So who is giving the shape to the eye? This vitreous humor, aqueous humor. That's why they say be very careful. Don't allow people to prick to your eye, because if it pricks and if the aqueous humor comes out, vitreous humor comes out, it's very problematic, very hard. You have to go for surgery. Okay, that's also not a simple surgery. It's a very sophisticated, very hard eye surgery to replace all this. Okay, students, so eye, you can understand so much of functions it's doing, but it's very delicate. Okay, so you should not damage your eye. So finally, this is the parts of your eye. Okay, so I told you, the ones who are scared, don't see this. So these are the real parts of the eye. So you can see this orange part, it's the lens. Okay. So if you all are doing medical science in future, in university, if you go to university, you will be able to cut the eye and see the real things. So that is a superb experience. Okay. So study well. The ones who want to become doctors, try maximum. It's very hard, not easy to do A-level biology, then go to university. There will be a lot of problems coming. Okay. There will be a lot of people in my life. Many people, when I went to university, my family members, some of my uncles and aunties, they are saying, Apo, don't go to university. University is a not good place. They are everyone are bad. But inside university, I have got a very nice environment. There are very good educated people. There are very religious people. There are very good people. Some bad people are there, but mostly good people are there. They make you scared, know about this ragging and that and this. Nothing like that. There are few ragging things, few jokes and all are there. Okay. But now that ragging environment is very less. So don't get scared. Go and do a lot of service to the community. Okay, so try hard. Many people will say many things, because in my family, I am the first person to enter university. Before entering, everyone was saying, don't do A-level, waste of time, don't go to university, bad, that and this. Now when I am coming to final year, when I am doing the classes and when I am earning money and all, now they are coming and saying, good, no university. How to put my son to university? They are coming and now asking. Okay, at first, everyone will be against you. They will say one different things, but try and achieve something great in life. Okay, from coming to my class, even if you don't understand whatever I taught, no problem. If you understand that in life you have to achieve something, that is enough. Okay, so try hard. Start from now. For grade 9 students, you are the basic of your O-level. O-level is the basic of your life. Okay, so try to get the best result for your O-level and then do your A-level. If you like to go to university, you can go. If you want to do commerce, accounting, no problem, you can do. But bio and maths, those are two superb lessons. If you want to do, you have to do a lot of dedication. Try and achieve it. Then the other parts, now you can see this is directly the eye is cut. So you can see what will happen. This is the vitreous humor, sorry, aqueous humor front, and behind it was aqueous humor, but everything has spilt. In that front picture, you can see, no, the aqueous humor, vitreous humor, like jelly, yeah. So I think in school and all, they have not shown these pictures, no? Okay. Then, yeah, now you all can open the eyes. This people who are scared, you can open the eyes. Yeah, now look at this picture. Okay, another small test. Can you see two colors? How many of you all can see two colors? Dark color on top, light color on bottom. Yeah, everyone can see, no? Now, take your finger, bring it closer to your screen and close that area in between the two boxes. There is a light color white area, no? Keep your finger and close and see. Keep your finger in between the dark and white area and close and see. Now what can you see?
Mama, both lines same color.
Yes, color.
Same.
Different, sir.
It is a box.
Okay, can you see? Same color, no?
Same.
So most of y'all are seeing same color. So actually it is same color, but because of that one white line, our eye is thinking that it is full light color. If you take the hand, two different colors, dark color, light color. But if you keep the finger and close that white line from your finger, keep it in your screen and close and see, then like magic, it will be full same color. If you want, you can call your parents and try to do this and see. They are also interested. Okay. Normally, my grade 9 classes, parents also sit and listen because they also like to attend the classes. Okay, that is very good. Huh? Tell your parents should attend the classes, because online classes, no, there can be many things. Just raise hand and tell me how many parents are listening to this. Actually, those are good parents who are listening to the classes, seeing what the students are doing. Okay, yeah, there are a lot of parents. Very good. Okay, so really happy with that. Okay, then one by one we will see have we completed it. Sclerotic layer, done, no? You know that white color cover and all those things. Then the sclerotic layer, when it is coming in front, it will become the cornea. We have done that. Then the second layer, choroid layer. Choroid layer, when coming front, it will become the iris. That is also done. Then we have the third layer, retina. In the retina, three main parts are there. B-O-Y, boy. Who's that boy? Blind spot, optic nerve, and yellow spot. And then in the front, you have the lens. Who is holding the lens? The ciliary muscles. You have studied that. In front of the lens, there is a tank. Behind the lens, there is a tank. Tank means cavity. That front cavity is aqueous humor. The back cavity is vitreous humor. And there is a special part which is missing here. What is that? Yes, very good. Some are sending the answers. In between the iris, you have a pupil. Actually, that is not a part. That is a hole. That's why I didn't put it here. So pupil also you have studied. So with this, you have completed the full structure of the eye. Can you understand? Okay, so there are some experiment. Okay, now this is a very simple experiment. This is coming in the next part. Okay, before going to that experiment, okay, some of the students are asking about our class timing. Okay, don't worry. This is our class timing. Listen to this carefully. Take a screenshot and keep. Grade 9 students, every Sunday morning. Now the grade 9 students, don't think our classes, we are stopping after Corona. If the Corona is there, not there, don't worry. Online classes until your O level 2023. Inshallah, if I am alive, until 2023, I will be conducting the online classes. So the grade 9s, next year you will be grade 10. After that, you will come to grade 11. Until your O levels, we will be doing the online classes. So don't worry. In my online classes, we will cover the syllabus in a very friendly way. My teaching is friendly way. I don't want the students to come to my class scared. Some students are there. Ayyo, today science class, today maths class. Don't know what this teacher will do. You don't know whether he will scold. I don't want my students to come. If you want to come to my class, come happily, or else don't come. Okay, you study happily, come happily, enjoy the lesson, and learn something useful for your life. That is my method. So every Sunday we have it. Okay, so monthly fees, very simple. For the Colombo students, it's 1,000. For the students who are out of Colombo, because in online, from Jaffna, from Ambalandua, from where Hambantota, Kandy, Kurnagala, Ampara, Sammanture, from everywhere students are coming. Okay, now don't have time to ask from where, or else if I say Colombo, half of them will raise the hand. If I say Eastern Province, half will raise hand. Kandy, like that many are there. Now today we don't have time, we are going to finish it. Okay, so this is the fees. Colombo it's 1,000, outstation it's 800. And the grade 10 students, the new students, you can mark and keep. That is also on Sunday, morning 8 to 10. Okay, morning 8 to 10. Sunday morning 8 to 10, our grade 10 class. So the grade 10 fees is 1,000 for the out of Colombo students, 1,300 for the Colombo students. Okay, admission 500. For the first 100 students, it's free. Like that, we have given a chance. Now already 100 students came. Now more than 200 students we have for grade 10 and grade 11. And for the grade 11, the timing is Sunday 10 to 12. So my schedule is Sunday morning 8 to 10 we have grade 10 class, 10 to 12 grade 11 class, then from 12:30 to 2:30 grade 9 class. In one day we are finishing grade 9, grade 10, grade 11. Because there are some students who are coming to grade 10 and 11. Some are coming grade 9 and 10 because they have not studied grade 9 properly. The grade 9 students can come only for the grade 9 session. Okay, and for the O-level students, okay, we have a special paper class that's on Wednesday. That's a night class. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. to 9:30 it goes, no? So that is for our paper class student. That is 2021 O-level batch. Inshallah, in August, we are starting 2022 O-level batch paper class also. That is for the current grade 10. We are going to start the paper class because many parents are calling and telling, sir, these fellows nowadays, due to online classes, they are just learning. They are not doing papers. So with the third term, we will start the paper classes also for grade 10. So this is our class timing and the fees. If you want this, I will send all the details. So you can send a WhatsApp message to this number. This is my personal number. Okay, you can send a WhatsApp message. Okay, within 2 days I will see and I will answer, because now I was checking my phone. More than 200 students have messages. So one by one I have to read. No. So this is my number, not 7782836666. So you can send a message and get the admission form and the class details, fees details, everything from that. So I hope you understood that things. Okay, so don't worry. This experiment, shall we try this experiment quickly? 2 minutes, quickly. Okay, stretch your hands like this. All of you all stretch your hands like this. This is to check the eye vision, how long our vision is. Later you will learn stereoscopic vision and all those. Okay, so you look straight. You look straight and stretch your hand. From one corner of the eye, you can see the right hand and the left hand. No. Now close one eye. Close your left eye. Then you won't be able to see the left hand. No. When you close the right eye, you won't be able to see the right hand. Now from this you can understand both the eyes together, it is giving you the stereoscopic vision, a 3D vision. Okay, that's coming in the latter part of our the same lesson. Okay, but today my topic was structure and function. The diseases, the method of vision, all those are there. So please open the book and check and see. So this one you can do for your small brothers. You can try to tell them and make them do this. And the other one is you need a pen. Quickly take a pen to your hand. Okay, take a pen, remove the lid and keep the pen separately and close one eye. By using one eye, try to put the lid. Stretch your, now take the pen and stretch your pen from one hand. From the other hand, take the lid, close one eye and try to put the lid. Sometimes very hard to put, because if you close one eye, your 3D vision is little bit getting reduced. But when you open the two eyes, directly you can put the lid and close. But if you close one eye, sometimes directly to put the lid, it is very hard, no? Did you try this and see? Yes. Many have tried and they have sent the messages. Okay, so like that, you can nicely learn practically about these things. Okay, so don't worry, science is not hard. If the person who is teaching it teaches you in a proper, best way, science will be easy. Not only science, all your lessons. So what I want you all to do is, okay, target 9A for your O levels. Target 9 A's for your O level and work hard for it and achieve it. If you achieve it, you will achieve a lot in your life, because O level is your first step, first barrier. If you get best results for your first barrier, the other barriers also you will be motivated to do. So by getting O level results, you can do a lot of things. And the best thing is you can make your parents and your teachers proud. If you get the best results, your parents will be so happy about you, because this is 15 years of your life, 10 years of school life, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, and finally grade 11. All this waiting for 11 years you're studying, and the first best results you're going to get is your O level. In Shishatta and all, parents were struggling for that. You did not know what is Shishatta also, scholarship exam. But O level, all of you all are going to face with a proper mind. You all know what is right, what is wrong. If you make a mistake in your O level, if you fail, that is your mistake. Okay, because you're 100% responsible. So make this first responsible best exam in your life, the best exam, and get best result. And then you will see the real happiness in your parents. And I will be the happiest person if you get an A for science. Okay, so the teachers will be more and more happy. So make your teachers and your parents proud by getting best results for your O level. So keep this as your target. You don't have any other things, no? No need to earn, no need to do any other things. Target your O level and do well. So one advice I am saying is, if you want, you can join our Science Academy online science classes. Okay, we have all the online facilities, tudes, the PDF, the recording, the online classes, the Zoom session, online exams, online results. Recently, we did an online exam for grade 9 and we sent the results also. There were some students who got 99 out of 100. Okay, so we congratulate all of them, and the gifts will be given soon as the institute starts. Okay, so like that, all those interesting sessions are there, so you can join our session. So thank you today, all the students, for joining the session and making this such a great session. There were around 800 now. Due to time, the others have left. Around 500 students are there. I thank everyone for joining the session and hope to meet you all in future also. Okay, so we have many free seminars plus paid seminars and our theory classes. Whatever you want to join, you can come for it. If you are not there in our free seminar groups, you can send a message. We will add to the free seminar groups. If new students want to join our classes and enjoy our theory classes, you all also can obtain the admission and come to classes from next week onwards. Okay, students, thank you for joining the session. I hope all of